guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today is the start of another collab. So this time I am involved in a Christmas collab. So this is Dawn Holmes's Christmas in Summer. All the links to Dawn's channel and everybody else that is involved in the collaboration will be in the description box below this video. So the collaboration will be running for 8 weeks, but we will be posting every other week. So today, obviously the 11th of July, we are posting using a specific paper pad. On the 25th of July, we'll be using dies or punches, that sort of thing, or die cuts. On the 8th of August, it is use your stamps or your digis. And then on the 22nd of August, it is crafter's choice. So for this one, I've decided to try and use up some paper pads that I've had for ages. I bought them, I can't remember if it was last Christmas or it might even have been the Christmas before. I bought them from the pound shop, and they're nice sort of, you know, traditional Christmassy colours. But I've just never really used them. I think often I want to use them that way on, and a lot of the patterns sort of don't work that way on. I'm saying that, and then every single pattern I flick onto works perfectly well that way on. But there are some that obviously have got to be running that way. And I don't know, I've just not sort of dug into them. And I bought 2 of them because I obviously thought I would use it a lot. So I'm going to use those as the main part. But then I've also pulled out this one, which is from when I very first started crafting. So I've had this one forever and I've just never really used it. So I'm wondering whether I can use up some elements of this as well, maybe for some die cuts and things. We'll see as we go along. So we're going to keep the videos short for this collaboration because there is lots of people in on the collaboration. So rather than take you through how I make it, I'm going to go away and make them, and then I'll come back and I will show you what I have created. Okay, so I have gone away and had a think and had a play, and I've created a couple of things. So to start with, I created some little handbags. I created a couple of these. This was using a tonic die set, just so you can see it. I should have had it to hand really, but I didn't. So I used this one, which is the Kensington Handbag Die Set. I got it in a recent de-stash haul from Julia. So I created this gorgeous little one using that lovely green paper. I used just a plain dark green cardstock for the base of the card. And then I've used sort of it's not matte, but it's not like a super shiny mirror finish, but it's a gold, pearlescent gold cardstock that my bestie gave me. I used that to create the clasp, and I've done the inside and the outside to make it a little bit sturdier. And it does actually clasp together, but it does bend the cardstock, so I would probably only do that once I'd put my little goodie inside and I was ready to gift it. You can then put those 2 bits together and seal it because they're sort of split at the top there. But anyway, I've used gold for that. I've used the same gold for underneath the handles, just to make the handles sort of pop a little bit. And then I've used a different die set to create this little rosette that was from my stash. I think it was handmade by Abigail, sent me a rack package with her entry to my giveaway, and she'd made some of these. She made them by hand, she didn't have a die, but they're beautiful, and it inspired me to find out my little die set. And yeah, I thought it was really cute just to add to the handbag. I've also die cut a little heart that comes with the bag collection, and I've just layered that in the background there, so it's like the sort of clasp of the handbag. And over the top of that, I've layered a little metal charm of a Christmas reindeer. It did have a loop on the top so that you could hang it. I've just cut the loop off and just put a little bit of alcohol ink on the top just to cover the raw edge where I've cut that. And then I've just glued that using a bit of glossy accents. I've just glued that to the handbag there, and it sort of reminded me of that, you know, like you get there, I think it's a Radley, you get a little dog on the Radley bags. So it's my version of a Radley bag, but it's a Christmas one. So that was the green and white one. And the rosette, I actually used that white paper pad to the small 6x6 to make the rosette. And then I made another one of those using a more Christmassy paper this time. It's got the holly and obviously the little reindeers, the jumping reindeers across across the front of it. Same sort of thing. I haven't used the clasp topper on this one. I've used 2 different patterns of paper. I've used the Christmas tree paper there, and then I've used that patterned one there. Again, I've used that gold to offset, to layer under the handles, just to make the handles pop and stand out from the bag a little bit. I've made another one of those cute little rosettes using the white paper. I've put a little red centre to this one, and actually the little brads that I've used to hold it all together are actually little tiny Christmas tree brads that I had in my stash. And again, I've made my little logo thing with the gold heart down the bottom there, and I've layered the little stag over the top of it, and I've just got a little bit of gold tissue paper in there. I will probably use these to give a little bit of jewellery or something like that at Christmas. They're the perfect size for just a small gift, a gift card, or a little bit of jewellery or something like that. So I made 2 of those, and I also made some rosettes to go on Christmas presents. I like to decorate Christmas presents nicely. I usually add something to them, so I thought I would make some rosettes. So I'll just zoom in a little bit so that we can see them a bit better. So this is the first one that I made. Excuse my hands, I've got paint on them because I've been doing another project. So I started out by making rosettes using the Poundland paper pad. So you can see on the back of each rosette what paper I use. So I made 3 of each. So I've made 3 in this one, and then I've used 2 other papers. So I made 9 in total. And then I just went through my stash and found out various different bits that I'd got that I'd either handmade last year, and I'd put them away because I didn't use them all, or just bits that I bought. So this little wooden tag was bits that I bought in the sale after Christmas last year. Each one of them, out of the 6x6 paper pad, I've cut a little simple doily to layer over the top of the rosette before I started embellishing. I've put on some of my handmade flowers and my little handmade holly leaves. There is tutorials on my video in the flowers playlist. If you go into my playlists, in the flowers playlist there is a tutorial on how to make the poinsettias and how to make the glossy holly leaves as well. I'd also got these little tiny fir cones in my stash, so I layered some of those over the top with just some little simple like hotfix type gems. I glued onto the tag there just for a bit of bling. Every single one is different. So this one I have done, so this time I've used that red sort of red and cream ornament type paper, and I've used that to make my rosette. I've inked around the edges. For the green ones I used forest moss to ink the edges, and these ones I think I used fired brick to ink around the edges of all of these. You can see the doily a bit better on this one. This is like a glittery snowflake pattern on the doily. I'd got this leaping reindeer with a little thread tag on it. This actually came on a potted plant that I got for Christmas last year, and when the plant was finished with, I cut the tag off and kept it. So I've just glued that on the top there. Again, I've just put a few little gems on just for sparkliness, and then I put this little season's greeting tag down the bottom here, again with a little gem either side just to make it pop. So I kept that one nice and simple. I then did another floral cluster one, so if I can get the camera to focus on it. So all down the side here I've used lots of my handmade flowers. These are all handmade flowers, with some of those lovely little pine cones peeking out, and then I've got some holly sprays which I used Nouveau drops to make the berries on there, and then I've sprinkled some of these little shiny gems about to make it sparkle and shine. And I've got this sticker which says "Just for you," which is popped up on some dimensional tape. And there we go, that's that one. We've got this one, which is the green paper, again with the doily, some little snowflake flat backs, which I thought went really beautifully with this wooden piece, which is actually a Christmas decoration. There's a hole underneath the Happy Christmas, which is what you would have hung it with. So I thought that was just right for this. I've put the Happy Christmas over the top, and then some little clear sparkly gems on that one. getting through them now. I made more than I thought I'd made. I didn't think I'd made much for this, to be honest, but I made more than I thought. I've also got this one, so this is the other patterned paper that I used. I used the tartan paper, and on this one, again, I've just done a bit of a floral cluster up the top here. I've used a little red rose, I think that came from the range, and some of my handmade poinsettias either side with the holly leaves, and again a holly sprig coming down through the centre there. I've got this little wood piece, Merry Christmas, which I coloured in brown and then went over it with a gold paint pen, but it's quite a sort of matte effect that it's given that. There's lots of glitter in the background from the doily paper, and then I've sprinkled some little gems here and there to make it sparkle and shine. Then I did this fun one, which is the tartan backing. The doily is it's got quite a lot of gold foiling on it, and then I'd made these little gingerbreads last year using a die set that I've got. So I just coloured in the little bits because I'd lost all the little insert pieces for these ones, and I just thought rather than throw them away, I just coloured inside with a glitter pen. I thought for packaging that's absolutely fine. And then I'd got this big Merry Christmas, which again that was supposed to be a Christmas ornament. I got a few of them from the pound shop last year. I just took the thread off that you're supposed to hang it with, and I've just glued it flat to my rosette. Then we've got this one, which again is just another very pretty Christmassy floral cluster, up in the top corner this time. Again with all the handmade flowers, a spray that was just in my stash left over from Christmas last year. This, I used a really pretty chevron pattern paper to cut the doily. And that's got just a little bit of sparkle and shine to it. Added in some of the gems, and then I'd got these little gold Merry Christmas foam stickers, so I added one of those on. We've got this one, which is done in the green paper with the gold and white doily on top. I got this little Be Merry wooden piece, and a little wooden reindeer. That was in my Christmas stash. I've layered that with some flowers, some leaves and some berry sprays in the background there. Again, some little gems. Again, this was it had a little thing on it to hang it, so I just covered the holes with the gems. And that's that one. And then finally, the last one, I've kept this one really nice and simple. I've just done some of the lovely handmade flowers. This time I've actually gone for a pinky one. I thought they looked like Christmas pinks, like the Christmas roses. So I've layered those over the top of some of the holly and just some of the greenery that I'd got in my stash. I've used this lovely gold sparkly Noel and some gems here and there. And looking at it now, I'm just thinking this bit here looks a little bit empty, so I might just add in a couple of the pearl snowflakes there. But that's it. That's what I have made this month for the Christmas in Summer. So we are next back on July the 25th, and we will be using dies or punches. So I'm really looking forward to getting crafting on that one. I am totally up to date now. I've just got a little bit to finish for my Halloween wand for Sunday, but then I'll be totally caught up, so I'm looking forward to getting going on next month's or next time's challenges. So thank you ever so much for spending some time with me today to have a look at my Christmas, going the wrong way, my Christmas in Summer projects. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope they inspired you to get your Christmas stash out and get started, because it is just round the corner. So that's it from me for now, and I will see you all again very soon in the next crafty video. Bye for now.